let's see how floated boxes behave, or in other words, how floated elements behave. So to illustrate this, I'm using the same example we have been using while discussing the position property. I have 4 boxes, okay, box 1, box 2, box 3 and box 4. I have just set the width and height and also set different colors for different boxes. So this is the default positioning or the normal flow of the document. So as per the normal flow, the block elements will be placed one below the other. So this is box 1, box 2, box 3 and box 4. So for an element, when we use the float property, what happens is that the items will be positioned as per the normal flow. Then they will be removed from the normal flow and move either to the left or right of the parent element. So in this case, the parent is body. So suppose I specify float and set its value to left. What will happen? They will be placed one next to other. So here, instead of sitting one on the top of the other, now they are sitting one next to the other, right? So that is the difference we are seeing when we set the value of float to be left. That is, as per the normal flow, each block element will sit one on the top of the other. When we set the value of float to be left, the elements are sitting one next to other. So here these 4 boxes do not have a specific parent. So that is why they are sitting next to each other in relation to the web page or the body element. Suppose I add a parent for these 4 boxes. So as we have done before, let me add a div with ID parent and let me cut these 4 boxes from here and paste it within this. And let me style the parent box hash parent. Let me set the width to be 600 px, height to be 600 px, margin 0 px auto, that is to center or horizontally align the parent, and also set border to be 2 px solid black. Okay, now let's see the difference. Let me save. Let me refresh. See, now this is the parent. So they are moved either to the left or right with respect to the parent. So when we make an element floated, what happens is that first they will be positioned in the normal flow, then they will be removed from the normal flow and shift either to the left hand side or to the right hand side of the parent. Okay, so suppose there is not enough space for the parent. What will happen? Here there is enough space for all the 4 boxes to sit within the parent. Suppose there is not enough space. That is, suppose I reduce the width to say 400 px. What will happen? If there is not enough space, the elements will be moved to the second row. Let's see that. Let me refresh. See, this element cannot sit here, so those 2 elements are moved to the second row. So suppose I remove this parent and also this and this. Now they will be positioned one next to the other, given there is enough space for them to sit. Suppose I reduce the width of the browser. So let me reduce. See, one element moved to the second row because there is only space for these 3 boxes to sit. Suppose again I reduce the width. See, again that also moved to the second row. So we can reduce only up to this. So when we set the value of float, the elements will be positioned as per the normal flow and then they will be removed from the normal flow and will shift either to the left or right of the parent, given there is enough space for those elements. So if there is enough space, they will sit one next to the other. Instead of sitting one on the top of the other, the floated boxes now sit one next to the other. So this is how a floated box behaves. Floated elements are positioned as per the normal flow, then removed from the normal flow and sent either to the left or right of the parent box, given that there is enough space.